You just have to show up and write all of the songs that you have and then figure out which ones are really worth pursuing after that.
How many like solid finish tracks do you have per whips? It's like, it's not just vocals. Like, you have to open the tap, let all of the shitty orange gross water come out. And yeah, let all the foam come out, all the disgusting crap that's stuck in the pipes to get that fresh water. And then you show up next day and that water's been sitting in the pipes and it's accumulated all that bullshit again. You've got to open the tap and let it run. And every single day you show up and you find your confidence. Every single day you show up, you find your creativity. It's not just you're at this point that we're at, you're 10 years deep like I am, and you can just fucking, everything flows smoothly now. It's like, no, maybe, you know, just like a baseball player at bat, they went from 0.2 to 0.3 and now they're an all-star or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's like, they have to show up every day to work on that batting average. They have to show up every day and find the confidence in hitting that swing. And some days they're going to show up, they're going to miss every fucking one. And then some days they're going to show up and they're going to hit 7 out of 10. And it's going to, you look back at that day the same way, like I'm sure you guys can relate, that those days where you write like 5 songs in a day, you were 6, 7 songs, like crazy. You're just blasting out ideas. The tap is just flowing. And then you show up for the next week and it's all garbage. That's just what it is. You find ways to clean out that tap and you find ways to get into that state. But every single day, like I said, you show up and you have to find that again.
Yeah, man. And I think that really reminds me of something I heard at the ASCAP Expo. Daryl Brown, and you know, I might have mentioned this on the podcast before because I love the story, but Daryl Brown, who's a hit songwriter, has number ones and such, said, you know, to a big group of us in this hall at the expo, like, you're gonna have a life event. You're gonna break up with somebody, you're gonna fall in love, you're gonna have a kid, somebody will die, like something big will happen in your life and you will write a batch of songs about it. Let's say you write 20 songs about falling in love. And at the end of writing the 20 songs, you look at all the songs you wrote and you realize like 2 or 3 of them are like really good songs. And like 17 or 18 of them are just meh, just like you're talking about. But he's like, but there is no way to get those 2 or 3 songs without writing all 20 and then seeing which ones really resonate. You just have to show up and write all of the songs that you have and then figure out which ones are really worth pursuing after that. Like which ones are really worth all the editing process and the final dialing in, or, you know, for, you know, a songwriter in the industry's, you know, standpoint, like pitching to the artist that you're working with and really making a push to get cut, you know, and that is exactly what you're saying. Just show up and write the shit, show up and sing, show up and make the beats, because when it comes down to it, it all comes back to quality through quantity. If you just keep showing up, be a professional, show up daily, work on your craft, you will get more output. And then as you get better at what you do, more of that output will be viable. And like you said, you know, even all-star Hall of Fame bass players are still only hitting the ball 3 out of 10 times. Yeah. And that's okay. You don't have to knock everyone out of the park to be a success. You just have to show up enough to knock some out of the park.
Totally, man.
And just fucking get on bass. Hit a single, right, man.
And have fun and just play. And having fun and being competitive aren't mutually exclusive. Like, I'm sure those people playing baseball are fucking pissed if they lose, but they're still having a blast on the field, like playing, you know? Yeah. And the ones that stop having fun, you know, they just don't make it to that, like, Michael Jordan or, like, Kobe status. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a specific kind of drive and appreciation for the craft to get there. But too, like, we talk about this idea of quality through quantity a lot. And I think it's worth noting, like you said, you can't get those 2 songs unless you have the 20. It's because everything is relative. Those 2 songs are good because you wrote the other 18 and you can compare all of them and clearly tell these are the best. Same way, like, why do we start this podcast? We tried to have other ventures with other people for a long period of time. We got to know a lot of people, meet a lot of different musicians, and eventually we came to start this because comparatively relative to everybody else, we found something that works. Same with when you're writing music. Like, people will bring me projects with like 10 tracks in it, and it's like this whole writing, mixing process, all of this is relative, elements relative to one another. You need to have that first phase where you're just throwing sounds into the mix and you figure out, like, all right, I got to kill this puppy. All right, I got to introduce this element here because it works relatively really nice with this one. These frequencies relative to these frequencies sit nicely. Everything in life is relative. You find options and then you whittle down those options and you find what works for you. And one thing that always sticks out to me, man, like the biggest thing I picked up from Seth Drake's workshop, which for whoever doesn't know, he's worked with huge acts like Gucci Mane and like people in that realm, and like same with the EDM world. He said he doesn't even see himself as anything special. And this is like one of the top engineers that the biggest people are going to. And he talks about the same thing. He's like, yeah, I don't have perfect pitch. Some people are born with perfect pitch and others just don't have it. But everybody has pretty good relative pitch. You can listen to a piece of shit song and you can listen to an amazing song and you can very clearly tell which one's which. Same with when you're mixing. If you use reference tracks, then you don't have to play this guessing game of how everything is adding up solely on your own. You can take a listen to your song, take a listen to your reference that already sounds good, and then you're like, oh, my vocal's too quiet. Oh, my basses aren't forward enough. Oh, my drums need to punch more. That's easy to pick up on. Use that skill.
Yeah, highly 10 out of 10 recommend the approach. Links down below for the approach. We'll give you the direct link to go get that. Best money you could spend to become an audio engineer for sure. Insane value. But I know Evan's got something you want to say. I could tell he's been to talk.
No, dude, I literally, every day when I eat lunch, I go back into the best practices archive from the approach and continue to further my knowledge in mixing, because it's such a long game for mixing, and it's just a skill that you got to flex, just like we were talking about. You gotta work that muscle to get better at it, and something you want to do every day.
I like it. What's up, humans? It's Luke, your friendly neighborhood trap Jesus. Thanks so much for watching the podcast, checking out our videos. We truly appreciate you. So, Rip Kenny, Tesco, and myself got you a gift. We made you a free sample pack. It's got basses, it's got FX, it's got crazy percussion and Foley sounds, and it's free. It's all yours. Just click the link in the description below. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and share this with your friends. We appreciate you. Peace out and peace among worlds.